Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I am fresh off of CrimeCon 2025 and I think I am still floating, y'all. I met Kendall Ray. I
heard you the first time.
I still like saying that out loud gives me goosebumps. We're gonna talk about it at the end of this video, but first we have to talk about Mary Kay's newest consultant, Misconceptions.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
We're gonna get right into it, but first we need the disclaimer. So here I was scrolling on the little orange app where everyone's soul goes to die. Yes, Reddit, that one.
Trolls exist.
And there on the anti-MLM Reddit page or thread or whatever they're called, I'm an elder millennial. I might as well be a boomer at this point, you know?
Okay, boomer.
I see that Mary Kay has welcomed a new consultant into their cult-like world. This consultant's name is Misconceptions. So I go on to Mary Kay's YouTube page and I see that they have in fact launched a new campaign against, I don't know if it would be against anti-MLMers or just people who can see through Mary Kay's bullshit. But they started this campaign with Misconceptions, and she is the Gen Z millennial consultant that loves Mary Kay and is out here trying to be a boss babe, and she is debunking the things that we talk about on my channel, specifically in the Mary Kay videos. We're just gonna watch them all. We're gonna watch them all, we're gonna react, we're gonna have some fun, okay? Because this is diabolical. There's no other word for it. I can't believe they're doing this. It is leveling up the cult-like behavior to the absolute extreme. First, we're gonna go ahead and watch the little YouTube short teaser that they put out with this individual announcing this campaign that would be launching on September 3rd.
Hey bestie, I'm Misconceptions, here to serve looks and clarity about Mary Kay. There's a lot of rumors swirling around out there about our products and our company, and I'm here to set the record straight. Let's clear the air and keep it cute. No filters, just facts. It didn't clank. I wanted it to clack.
If she was an actual Mary Kay user, customer, she'd probably know that that doesn't clack, but maybe she doesn't actually use Mary Kay. It was just a little detail that I noticed when I first watched that. But anyway, what are we getting? What are we getting? You tell me in the comments. Go down, hurry. I will give you a few seconds to tell me what you're getting, and then I'm gonna tell you what I'm getting. If you're my generation, which is elder millennial or millennial, if you're me, we're on the same page. Go ahead, I want to hear it.
Get in, loser!
So you can go shave your back now. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Boo, you whore.
Mean Girls, anyone? It is not giving welcoming, let's go check out Mary Kay and see what's happening. It's giving, why is this girl so mad, and screaming in my face. Now this next one is a little bit longer than a YouTube short would be, but it is the official introduction to Misconceptions. It just keeps getting better, worse, I don't know. Better for us, worse for them.
Hello?
It's 2 times now. She has screamed, she has spit water in our face, and has had a dramatic pass out. I feel like this is just not giving, come join us. It's giving, wow, these fuckers are annoying. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I see commercials like this, I want to throw my TV or phone or computer out the window because they're so annoying. And I thought that before Mary Kay came out and did this bullshit, not just because they're doing it. There are plenty of campaigns out there like this for brands that I likely don't love.
Hey bestie, I'm Misconceptions, here to serve looks and clarity about Mary Kay. I'm hydrated, I'm unstoppable, I'm 90% finishing spray.
It's giving, you're 90% shallow as fuck. Where's the lie?
Undetected.
Mary Kay is for everyone, not just your Nana, but shout out to her anyway. What would Mary Kay Ash do? She'd contour then conquer. Moisturize, then monetize. She'd hydrate, then dominate.
Did we get those cult vibes? Did we catch them in time? What would Mary Kay Ash do?
I think I just threw up in my mouth.
And then you plan your whole day on what she would do? Contour and monetize. Get a grip. Go touch grass. What is going on in Mary Kay? What is happening? I feel like they are in big trouble. I have another video that I'm recording in a little while about some more Mary Kay happenings regarding the car program. Something's going on with Mary Kay. I don't know if they're doing well.
There's a lot of rumors swirling around out there about our products and our company, and I'm here to set the record straight. Mary Kay is for the bold, the bougie, the booked, and busy. Hello? Yes, I'm very busy. What? Rot night and full glam counts.
Okay, that goes back to a video that we just reacted to. It was the video with one of our favorite Mary Kay leaders, and she brought on a guest speaker who has been in Mary Kay for, I want to say, like 30 or 40 years. I forget the exact time. And she mentioned in that video, when she was talking about her Mary Kay date book, she said that Mary Kay had once told her to write everything down in your planner so that you look busy.
Mary Kay said, everything goes in your date book so you look really busy.
Not so that you are busy or doing anything that is going to make any sense for you in the future, just so that you look busy. So I thought it was interesting that this woman is laying on the couch with eye masks on, which is fine. Like, don't get me wrong. I do the same thing. There is nothing wrong with that. But pretending like that's you being busy, it just speaks to that whole thing with write everything down so you look busy. Always pretend you're busy so that people think you're successful and then you'll be successful. Kind of like fake it until you make it, but that's not how it works. However, it's just proving that they're still living on the same false sense of hope that they've been living on since they started back in the fucking 70s. So that was the end of that little clip. It speaks volumes, especially if you're somebody who has been following Mary Kay closely, like me as an anti-MLMer has been. It just speaks volumes to the things that they're still running on. The dated thoughts about what being a woman is and what we can do as women and what we can't do as women. Like, we have so much more power now, and they're still so far behind, living in the past, acting like you have to pretend to be busy so that you're successful. It's so twisted in this Mary Kay cult, in my opinion. But anyway, at the time that I'm recording this, they have put out 3 YouTube shorts and reels and TikToks and three short form videos. We'll say that because there's so many fucking platforms I can't keep it straight anymore. So they put out 3 short form videos debunking the things that we so frequently say about Mary Kay. I am assuming that they are going to continue putting out these short form videos, so I'm interested to see how long it goes on, what they try to debunk, and what we can come back with and be like, hey, no, you're still fucking wrong. So let's take a look at the first one and see what Misconceptions has to say.
Mary Kay is not only still around, it's in its thriving era.
Please tell me this is some kind of practical joke.
While y'all were sleeping on Mary Kay, it's been dropping skincare that eats and makeup that understands the assignment. It's evolving, it's iconic, and it's very much still the moment. Yeah.
I don't know this individual. She's playing a part, and the character that she's playing is so fucking annoying. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. What the fuck? But that is totally beside the point. What I caught there was that she mentioned that
Mary Kay is thriving,
and then said,
while you were sleeping on Mary Kay.
if Mary Kay was thriving, no one would have been sleeping on Mary Kay. We wouldn't have been going to Sephora and Ulta and Target and Walmart and Walgreens and getting that makeup instead. Mary Kay is not thriving. And this proves that so loudly.
First of all, grandma's skin, probably flawless. Second of all, Mary Kay has evolved. No makeup looks. We got you. Bold glam, yep. Soft matte, say less. Mary Kay is for everyone. Not just your Nana, but shout out to her anyway.
Maybe that's true, but you're late to the fucking party, Mary Kay. Many of the other makeup companies out here have already established their places in the things that you're trying to put out now. They put those out years ago. You're so far behind because you're stuck in, what would Mary Kay ask you? This is a cult, not a makeup company. It's scary. Allegedly, in my opinion.
I'm hydrated. I'm unstoppable. I'm 90% finishing spray.
All right, I'm not too sure what misconception we're trying to prove wrong in this last one that they've posted, but what the why are they trying to make this individual seem so stupid? You cannot look me in the eye and tell me that they are trying to make this individual look like an intelligent woman who knows what she's doing. There's no way. There's no way. It's insulting to women, and nobody should be joining or buying Mary Kay after this bullshit. That's just my opinion. I just think it's gross. It's shallow. There's no substance to this at all, other than the same bullshit you've been spewing since the 70s, just out of a different body now. Please do not buy or fall for Mary Kay. There's so many better options out there, and I know there's people that are out there and they're like, oh, I've been using Mary Kay BB cream for so long, and I understand, I get it, but look at what they're making us women who utilize makeup look like. Just saying. And on that note, let's talk about CrimeCon.
Woo, change up!
So since that was all they put out for misconceptions at this point, I figured this would be a short video and then we could talk about CrimeCon for a few minutes and then wrap it up. First, if you're new here and from CrimeCon, hi, I'm so excited. I had so much fun connecting with so many people. Now, if you already follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen some of the photos that I'm gonna pull up. I honestly did not take a lot of pictures because I was super present. I was taking it all in.
That's what she said.
There was a lot to see, a lot to do, and I was volunteering, which we'll get into in a second, but I just wanted to be there. I wanted to see what I wanted to see. I wanted to experience it all. It was so cool, so I didn't want to miss anything. But anyway, so I follow a few of the creators that were there and that were talking about going. So Kendall Ray, True Crime with Kendall Ray, The Sesh, Mile High Media, Lights Out Podcast, Crime Weekly was there. I watch them every week. I watch Detective Perspective. I watched Stephanie Harlow. So I knew it was going to be in Colorado, in Denver, but I also knew that I am not in a place to purchase a ticket to go. So I was being responsible. I wasn't looking. I was just like, it's not in the cards for me this year. I can't go, even though it's right down the street, 2 hours, but still. Driving distance right down the street. I'm not looking. I'm not gonna get my hopes up for something I'm not even gonna be able to go to. So I came to terms with that. And then I want to say it was like 3 weeks before, 2 or 3 weeks before, I don't know why, but I went on the CrimeCon website. I was listening to one of the podcasts that were talking about being at CrimeCon in Denver. And I was like, let me just see who else is gonna be there. So I pull up the website and I see that you can volunteer. And I'm like,
What's this all about?
so I'm reading, if you get picked to volunteer, your ticket is covered. It's general admission, so you don't get any of the VIP perks, but your ticket is covered. I'm like, oh, that would be cool. Let's see. I don't have any experience going to any cons, setting up any cons. I'm just a tiny little creator out here. I want to go meet the creators that I have been looking up to for so long and watching while I edit my videos and while I'm getting ready to film. Like, it's just like a full circle moment. It felt like it was going to be so cool. So I apply and I wait and I'm like, I'm not going to get picked. It's fine. I applied late, never heard from them. It's fine. I'll try again next year. It was not meant to be. So if you follow me on Instagram, again, I was having a rough fucking week last week. And I no lie to you. I don't know if you're religious, whatever your beliefs are, that's your beliefs. However, I do pray and I want to cry.
Your eyes are leaking.
This is my first video. I can't mess up my makeup. Ugh, this is so stupid. We're just going to talk through it. This is me as a person. Like, I cry for everything as I was last week. So last week was a really rough week. Like, this past year has been, whew. If you've been following me, you know I've been dropping hints that, like, I've been going through it. And so last week rolls around and I was not okay. It was not good, okay? We'll just say that. So on Thursday morning, I didn't have to go anywhere. So I didn't get dressed. I didn't shower. I just sat around and cried all day, like from 2 a.m. until I went to sleep, because then I was crying happy tears. I was like, oh my God. So while I'm crying, I'm literally like please just give me a sign. Give me something that is gonna tell me I'm gonna be okay. Oh, this is so stupid, right? So stupid. It feels shallow. So I just need something that's gonna tell me I'm gonna be okay. Like, I'm gonna make it through this. And so I finally get to my computer and I'm pushing through, working. I forget what I was doing. I was looking for something for a video, and I get an email.
You've got mail.
I read the subject. I'll put the thing here, but I forget what it said. And it said something about you're confirmed as a volunteer, and I'm like, what?
Oh, someone pinch me.
I'm like, holy fucking shit. So I'm reading. I'm like, what's the catch? Why is it so late? What's the catch? There's no catch. I just have to go. So it's Thursday at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I have to be at CrimeCon to volunteer on Friday morning at 8 a.m., 2 hours away. I'm like, all right, well, it's happening. We're doing this. I had already talked with my mom when I had first applied to make sure that she could watch the kids in case I had to go. She knew that that was a possibility up until CrimeCon was over. And so I let my mom know. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my God. So I really never would have been able to go unless I was a volunteer because, like I said, I was not going to be able. The tickets are not cheap. They are not cheap. Rightfully so, because holy shit, there's a lot of shit to do. So that's how I was able to get there. Like I said, there was no way I was going. Those tickets are fucking expensive. But in my opinion, worth it after going to my first one and being able to see it for free. If you can look for any conventions that you want to go to, see if you can volunteer, because in my opinion, it's the best way to see if it's something that you would even want to attend and pay that much to attend in the first place. I didn't have to pay anything, and now I know that I had a great time and it was a great experience. And as a creator, it's also a great networking experience. So for me, it would be worth the money in the future. But if it wasn't worth the money in the future, then I would know also either way, because I was able to volunteer for free. But anyway, let's get into actual CrimeCon.
Oh, yes, please. Do that right now.
Thursday was early registration and everything, but obviously I wasn't there for that. So Friday was day one. Friday was my first shift of volunteering. And a little bit about the volunteering process, if it is something that you are interested in. They're doing another one in Vegas in May. They haven't announced the volunteering or put out the form to fill out or anything like that yet, but keep your eyes out. A little bit about the process after you get picked. You get an email with your assignment, and then they give you a whole guide on volunteering and what to expect at the event, what the schedule is, and all of those things. And then you have to go to basically like an orientation or a meeting every time before your shift, and that's where you get your assignment, and they kind of just give you a rundown for the day, give you the rules and all of that. So that happens for me, it was every morning because I had the morning shift, and then you just go and do your shift, check out. They give you a wristband that gets you into everything except the VIP events.
What a bummer, man.
Because again, like I said, it's just a general ticket. So you have your wristband, and then you can go either before or after your shift. So for me, because again, I had the morning shift, I was going around in the afternoon. So my first assignment was the merch line. Y'all, I don't understand. If you were at CrimeCon, I do not understand. Okay, let's talk about the merch line. The merch line had 3 separate entrances. Or 3 separate lines. On the first day, they each had a different time to get in. So the first line was the diamond line, and they got in first. They got in like an hour before the next line, which was platinum and gold. And all 3 of those were VIPs. So the platinum and gold got in an hour later. And then the general admission, which is what I would be considered as, they got in at the regular time when CrimeCon actually starts, when they open their doors. Why are these people lined up like 3 hours before merch opens?
I need answers.
I don't understand, y'all. Can you explain it to me? Because I didn't see them really sell out of too much. So I don't fully understand why we're standing in line for so many hours when there's so many other things to do. I didn't get it. Anyway, that's where I was for day one. It was actually super fun. There were so many people coming up and asking questions because you have the volunteer shirt on. So you get to talk to different people and just have conversations. I was working with a few other volunteers who I was able to connect with on socials. So if you're here, hi. It was really such a great experience. The people are amazing at CrimeCon. So I had a long ass shift. I worked from 8 that day until 3:30. But during that shift, I experienced my first ever speechless moment when I ran into another creator. I'm speechless again. So here's what happened. I'm working the merch line, and the merch line is right next to the expo, and the expo is where creator row is. So that's where all the creators are. So all of the creators were going into the merch hall or the merch line, and we were trying to let them know, like, hey, you have to go to the next store. You don't want to be here. You need to get to the next store because that's where you and your table are. So I'm continuously seeing the badges that say speaker and exhibitor and creator, and I'm like, you want the next doors down, keep going. Y'all, tell me why I see Janelle from the sesh from Mile Higher, and I couldn't speak. She was going into the wrong door, and I looked at her and I went, nothing was coming out. So she just walked into the merch, and I could have told her that she needs to go down there. So what had happened was I opened my mouth and I was gonna say, hey, Janelle, and my brain went,
Don't do that, you fucking weirdo. She doesn't know you, and it's probably weird that you know her name.
So I didn't say anything, but she figured it out because then I saw her walk by again, and I still didn't say anything because I was in my volunteer thing and we're not supposed to say anything. And it took me a minute to kind of recover from that because I had never seen another creator that I watched so regularly in person. So I was completely speechless. But it gets better, y'all.
Oh, do tell us.
Because while I was working that same shift, I had somebody else come up to me, and she was trying to get her badge. And she was an exhibitor. She needed to get into the creator row because her team was in there. And I was like, she looks familiar, but I can't figure out who she is. And I said, okay, you want to go over to the next window? They'll get you your badge. So I see her coming back over a few minutes later, and she's like, they sent me back to you. I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do. I said, what do you need? You need a badge? And she said, yeah, I'm a creator. I'm with Mile Higher. And I go, again, no word. I said, oh, yeah, you are in there. I know you're in there. And I said, I just need to process that because I love your work. And she goes, oh, I'm Kendall's writer. And I go, downloading, need to download that. So I bring her over and I tell the guy that's actually working there, I'm like, she needs a badge. They keep sending her to me. He goes, okay, can you bring her to the booth? And I go, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to the Mile Higher booth. Like a little kid on Christmas morning going to Disney World to meet Mickey Mouse. So I'm like, okay, come on. So I tell her the whole story, what happened with Janelle. She goes, I'll just introduce you. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna piss my pants. So I walk over and I meet Janelle and I tell her she's beautiful and I'm super awkward, but she was super nice. And I got to meet her while I was on my shift, and that was that, and it was super cool. Shout out to Jessica, Kendall's writer. Thank you so much. That was probably one of the coolest moments of being at CrimeCon. So thanks. So my shift ended, I went and checked out, and then I saw that Stephanie Harlow was doing a podcast with ALLLL. Full transparency, I had never listened to ALLLL before. I regularly listen to Stephanie Harlow, so I wanted to go and watch that podcast. I went and checked the creator studio. There was no line. I was like, cool, I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Went and grabbed some lunch. Maybe it was gone 15 minutes. Came back, there was a monstrous line. I did not know ALLLL was such a large creator, and now I follow her, and her content is amazing. So shout out to her and Stephanie because she's amazing. I just love Stephanie Harlow. So I got to go in and see that podcast live. They talked about a bunch of different cases. That was a fun experience. I didn't get to sit super close, and I only got one really awful picture, but I was there and it was cool, and I got to see it with my own eyes. So then I knew Chelsea, Cece Suarez, was there, and she is honestly one of the reasons I started my channel. I don't think I would have started if I didn't even start watching her way back in the day when I was just getting out of Scentsy. So I really wanted to meet her. Went over to her booth. She wasn't there. It was late. I was tired. I get it. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to bed. So I left. I was like, I'm going to find Chelsea tomorrow. Day 2 comes around and I had the morning shift again. So I went in and got my volunteer assignment, and I was with the K9 demonstration that Aurora Police Department was doing. So I got to work and see the K9 demo with the pups, and they were so cute. Loved them, and they were the sweetest things ever. I learned a whole lot about police dogs. I didn't know that they only come from Germany. They give them command brands in German, and they are roughly average $30,000 per pup.
Holy forking shirt!
There's a whole lot more to it that I learned and was just in awe about. These dogs are so smart. Something else that really bothered me though was that I didn't know that you cannot, at least in Colorado, you cannot defend a police dog if it is about to be under attack in any way. So if a suspect is pointing a gun at a police dog, the police officer cannot shoot at that person. They have to let them hurt the dog. And that goes for dog owners too.
Oh, hell no.
And I don't love that. And I want to know how I can fix that. So I have to look further into that. But anyway, those dogs were precious. After that demo was over, my shift wasn't over. So me and my new friend, I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants her name out there. Me and my new friend that I met volunteering, we went over to the fingerprinting experience and we got to see what that was all about. What you did over there was act as a crime scene investigator. You looked at a crime scene and then took the evidence to lift fingerprints and identify a suspect. So that was pretty cool to watch and experience. And then my shift was over, y'all. It was time to go meet Kendall Ray.
I'm sorry, I am just fangirling so hard right now.
I was like, all right, I gotta go take this yellow shirt off. So I go first to sign out for the day as the volunteer. No line, not a single line in sight, not a line in sight. Maybe I was gone 10 minutes, maybe, if that. Come back. I'm like, what is this mile-long line for? The mile-long line was for mile higher. It wasn't there a second ago. So I got my happy ass in that line, and I stood there for 2.5 hours and finally met Kendall Ray. And I got to tell Janelle I was sorry for being awkward, and I met Josh. Well, I didn't really meet Josh because I was so starstruck by Kendall and Janelle, and I just like taking it all in. Pause. Okay. Taking it all in. It was a lot. And I don't do anything alone. I did this whole thing alone. I was by myself. This was solo.
It's called growth.
I don't do anything alone. So it was a lot to absorb, especially in that moment. So I met them. They were all so nice. I really liked that they didn't rush anybody in the line, regardless of what the staff was saying. They took the time to really talk to people who were coming to meet them. And they are so genuine and kind. And I can't say enough nice things about them. I will continue to watch them forever and always. I love them. If you don't follow the Sesh, Mile High, or Lights Out, any of the podcasts, go and do it because they're amazing and their content is so good. Anyway, so I did that. That was amazing. And then I had to come down from that. My adrenaline was so high and I was so tired. So I went back to the expo to see if I could find Chelsea, and I did not.
Major bummer.
And I was kind of in a rush because I knew there was 2 breakouts that I wanted to get to. I had to get to the On Patrol Live because I had to get a picture of the people on Patrol Live for my kids. My kids love On Patrol Live. Don't judge me. Okay. I went and got the picture. I was there for like 5 minutes. I'm not really fully interested or invested in what they were talking about. So I left because Stephanie Harlow and Derek Levasseur were recording a podcast for Crime Weekly, and I was not missing that. I was not getting in the back of the line. I'm like, that starts in like an hour and a half. I'm up there to get in line. So we get in line. We, meaning me. I was by myself again, but I did meet somebody there. So there was the 48 Hours podcast was going on at the same time, and we had already missed most of it. So us going in wasn't an automatic thought like we should go watch this. It was more of a last minute thing, like maybe we should go in so that we could scoot our way to the front, because they don't fully empty the creator studio for the podcast at all in between podcasts. Like you could stay in there for all of them all day. So we were like, well, let's see if we could just walk in, pretend we're gonna watch this, and then scoot our way to the front for Crime Weekly. Everybody had that idea, but that's okay because we played musical chairs and we got all the way to the front. Yeah! We got to watch Stephanie Harlow and Derek Levasseur put on their Crime Weekly podcast for the week, and it was so amazing. I stumble over my words so much. Watching every podcast that I watched, I was in awe because I just don't fully grasp how you make it through a full thought without having to think and reorganize your words. So props to them for that. I don't know how you do it. But let's talk about the case they were talking about. If you have never heard of this case, please Google it. It is insane what they have done to this family, and it's in Colorado. It's the Megan Trussell case, and it happened in February of 2025. This individual was a college student, freshman year in Boulder, Colorado. She was from Colorado. She was going to live at Boulder, Colorado dorm rooms at CU Boulder. Boulder, if you're not familiar with Colorado or Boulder in general, it is a college town, and it's also kind of a touristy place to go to. So we'll say it's a great income generator for Colorado. Now, not being from Colorado originally, I don't know all of the ins and outs. I'm still learning a lot about the state, and this was one of those moments where I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? This individual was in college and she went missing. They found her in a ravine in Boulder, Colorado, and it was clear by the way she was found, in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, that this individual she put up a fight. Somebody did something to her. She did not do this to herself. And they ruled it as a suicide and closed the case. And it's clearly not that. So this family is now fighting with Boulder police to get the case reopened so that they can get justice for their daughter. Right now, they don't have any justice. They just have that she committed suicide. And her family knows that that's not the truth. And the evidence that Stephanie and Derek helped bring to light during this podcast shows that it's not the truth. And I think that the best thing that this mother could have done is what she did. She went to CrimeCon and made this case public, more public than it has been, because as somebody who lives in Colorado, they definitely kept this one hush hush. It was not really talked about here. It was nowhere near talked about as much as what happened with Shanann Watts. And why not? Because this is an issue. Anyway, Google that case. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm not a true crime channel, and there are plenty out there who cover way better than I would. The case is crazy. I am wanting to get more involved with it because I am local-ish and I would like to help somehow. So at the very least, me mentioning it here hopefully will get some more eyes on it. But anyway, podcast recording happened. It was amazing. I'm so glad I got to go and see them do what they do live in person. That was cool. And it was one of those moments where I realized what CrimeCon was actually about. I honestly was going for the experience as a creator. I wanted to meet the creators that I have been looking up to for so long. So I went for those reasons. And it probably was a selfish reason, but at the time I didn't know what CrimeCon was about. And now I do. There were so many families there with similar situations like this mother that was able to talk to Derek and Stephanie. And the publicity that they get from going to these CrimeCon events and getting their cases out there, missing people, wrongfully ruled things like that, those are getting out more so that they can get more answers to the things that they are needing answers to. So I thought that was really cool to see what CrimeCon is actually doing for the families of these things that are happening. It's crazy. So anyway, that was that. They had the This Is a Clue Awards. I was trying to get up to meet Stephanie Harlow. She was meeting with people a little bit, but they had to leave because they had to get ready for the awards where they won.
People's Choice Creator of the Year, Crime Weekly.
Congrats to them. Well deserved. So happy for them. As a volunteer and a non-VIP, I did not get to go to the awards, so I was in bed. And then really the last day came around and everyone was gone. I never got to get a picture with Chelsea because it just didn't work. It didn't work out that way. Next year for sure. But I went for the last day for volunteering. I volunteered in the ballroom. There really wasn't too much going on in there that day. There was a 911 demonstration and Name Us was in there. But I did get to meet some really cool people that day that I didn't volunteer with the previous 2 days. So that was fun. We got to chat and just hang out while we manned the doors. Then my shift ended, everybody was leaving, and I was tired, so I left too. And that was that. I hope that wasn't too rambly. I'll probably edit a lot of the shit that I said out. But y'all, it was so fun. Circling back to the MLM thing, the last convention that I went to was Scentsy Family Reunion in Nashville. So going to CrimeCon, it was really cool to see the difference between an actual community and a cult-like community where you have to pay to be a part of it. Really cool. Highly recommend If you like true crime, if you are a creator, I'm a huge true crime fan, so I was excited just to go. The creator part of it was a big thing for me, but if you're only going for the creator part of it, don't go. It's so busy on the creator row part because everybody wants to meet their favorite creators. It just won't be worth it. The lines are insane if that's your only reason for going. It has to be worth it for you to go. So yeah, I didn't get to meet Chelsea and I didn't get to meet Stephanie Harlow, but next year, fingers crossed. Thanks for sticking around and listening to my ramble about CrimeCon. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit. And I will see you in the next one.